sky is blue, a Sunday afternoon, she doesn't know what to do.
Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. So today's love and romance reading for the month of December 2014 is for the zodiac sign of Gemini. So Gemini, the card that I intuitively picked for you guys is the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is all about walking away from something. So sort of turning your back on something, leaving something behind and kind of going in a new direction. To me, it's by no means a bad cup. To me, it's about creating balance, because if you look at these 8 cups, even though it's 8 and 8 is a balanced number, the way that they are stacked is fairly imbalanced. We've got 5 on the bottom here and 3 on the top, and that makes it look like a unbalanced number. So I think for a lot of you guys it's going to be, or some of you guys in the month of December, if you've been going through a relationship struggle, or you know, if you've been in a relationship and it simply isn't working for you, I think this card could kind of represent maybe walking away from it, because within yourself you feel that there's some form of imbalance, there's something potentially amiss within that relationship. I would also say for this card that if you are single, I think it means potentially kind of turning over a new leaf, because that's what this card kind of represents to me. Even though it talks about walking away from something, taking, I suppose, a new path and a new direction, and I guess leaving past mistakes behind. I think for you guys who are single, for you guys it could be kind of an awakening, because I often think that when we walk away from things, that comes from a sense of thinking of things in a different way and kind of an awakening within ourselves. And I think this can signify potentially, if you're single, that you're going to be kind of leaving behind whatever feelings you've had on being single, whatever kind of, it's, to me this signifies going into January 2015 with a fresh slate, with a new viewpoint, with something that makes you feel kind of, this is a new year, this is a new me, and I'm going to be doing things a lot differently. This doesn't to me signify, if you're single, someone coming in December, but it does certainly tell me that you're going to be turning your back on something. And if you're single, I think that could be on maybe the way that you've viewed things, maybe the way that you've done things, maybe the way that you've been potentially in other relationships, or how partners have been with you in other relationships. I really think that this is in a way a card of renewal. And when we turn our backs on something, it just simply means that we want to move forward to something else. And I would definitely say that if you're single, it could be turning your back on maybe past mistakes that you've made, things that haven't worked out in the past, and you're kind of saying, you know what, I'm moving forward now, I'm moving in a completely different direction, this is a new year coming up, this is a new me, and things are going to be very different for me. And I certainly think, as I've said, if you're in a relationship, potentially for some of you guys, it could be that there's been some disappointment within that relationship, and potentially it could just simply be that there's something just amiss and not right in that relationship. It might not be anything major, but it just simply might not be something that's suited for you. So I think it's going to be a choice that you just completely make, potentially out of the blue, or potentially just off your own back. And also this card, I think, can talk about, because it's a minor arcana card, when we look at things like the Death card or the Tower card, because they're major arcana cards, their explanation can really be kind of a lot more permanent. But I think because this is a minor arcana card, and because for some of you guys it might be a breakup of a relationship, it might just be a temporary thing. It might be a case of, you know, I'm going in a different direction for a little while just to see how I feel, just to see how I get on, just to see if this direction suits me best. I need to find time, or I need to take time out to find out what it is that I want from this relationship. So I think that, you know, we need to separate maybe for a little while. So for some of you guys, it could simply be that you're not turning your back completely, even though this person is turning their back and they're heading off in a different direction. But I think because these cups are unbalanced, definitely for some of you guys, you're going to be walking away from something that's been making you feel imbalanced, towards a different path. And for some of you guys, it might be permanent, but because it's minor arcana, for some of you guys, it might just be a temporary thing, and you might come back together. So I certainly think, whichever way it is, whether you're single or whether you're in a committed relationship or whether you've just met someone and they're not really to your liking, I certainly think for some of you guys in the month of December, you're going to be kind of walking away from something, whether that's permanently or whether that's temporary. And certainly if you're single, I think it's going to be kind of moving away and turning your back on maybe the old you, and kind of, because this is a cups suit, so it's all about emotions and feelings as well. So I would certainly say if you're single, it's turning your back on maybe how you were feeling in 2014 and moving into a potentially more positive direction. I mean, we do also have the moon sitting here, and to me the moon signifies kind of awakening too. So kind of waking up to something, kind of this light that is shining in the path, the direction that they're taking. And I definitely think this, for me, this card signifies awakenings as well, because we have the moon here. And kind of just waking up to something and deciding, I don't really want to do this at the moment, or I don't really want to be this now. So I want to take a different direction, and I want to kind of find out who I am. And I think this could be potentially representing those of you who are single. But certainly, as I've said, if you're committed, if you're in a relationship, if you're looking to come out of a relationship, it might just be a temporary thing, or it might be more permanent. But I certainly think that within the month of December, some of you guys might be deciding that you want to do that for the new year. So that's your love and relationship and romance reading for the month of December, Gemini. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use my Romance Angels Oracle cards. And I'm going to shuffle this deck, and I'm going to pull one card from the deck to serve as your advice card from the angels concerning your love and romantic life in the month of December. So here we go. Let's see what we can come up with. Oh, one turned over. Wow, look at that. One just literally flipped out at me. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And that really does tie in, I believe, with what I've said. The Romance Angels are really saying on this card that for some of you guys, as I thought within the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups does talk about, and looking at those 8 cups and the way that they're stacked, they look unbalanced. There's no balance with, but it's not like 4 cups on top of 4 cups. There's 3 cups on top of 5, which makes it look very unbalanced, because 3 is an unbalanced number and 5 is an unbalanced number. They're uneven numbers. And this card is talking about free yourself. Is saying that for some of you guys, you might be feeling trapped. You might be feeling that you've lost control within your life, within your love life. That you don't feel free within your love life, that you don't feel like it's one of liberation, that you may have relinquished control, you may have given over control to someone, and that you just don't feel like you. And this card is really saying, the angels are saying on this, that it's time to take control back. It doesn't so much talk about moving away from a situation, but I definitely think that this card ties in with it, and that for some of you guys who potentially in the month of December might decide to move away from a situation, that in itself is actually freeing yourself from that. So it's about taking back control of your life. It's about taking back your own strength. It's about recognising within yourself that you are a free and liberated human being. This card also talks about learning to love yourself, okay, which I think really ties in again with this Eight of Cups, because when I spoke about being single and kind of turning your back on maybe feelings that you were feeling in 2014, whether that's a case of that you weren't loving yourself enough, whether that was a case of that you were feeling negative about being single, or feeling negative about the way that your life is going in terms of a romantic sense, this card is really saying you can free yourself from that. You can free yourself from those restrictions, those limitations that you've placed on yourself. And I certainly felt that with this card, a lot of you, whether you're single or whether you're committed, would be moving away from something. And when we move away from something that we feel is restricting us, or we feel that there are limitations on, or we're feeling trapped within, essentially we are freeing ourselves from a situation that is no longer serving us. So I certainly think that with this really ties in with the Eight of Cups reading that I've just given, and the angels are saying it's time that you free yourself. So I certainly think for December and going on into January 2014, it's going to be a case of that for some of you guys who potentially haven't felt enough self-love, whether you're single or whether you're committed. If you're single, you're going to start to feel that. You're going to start to feel like, no, I want to take back control of who I am. I haven't felt in control for such a long time, and now it's time to do that. Now it's time to kind of relinquish the old me and put on a new set of clothes. And I really believe that for some of you single guys out there. And I think if you're committed and you're in a relationship, and it could be that you're going to literally be moving away from the relationship, i.e. you're going to be freeing yourself again. Or it could be that maybe within that relationship you're going to be learning a new way to be with your partner. And again, that's freeing yourself. So to me, this really ties in. It's amazing how this just flipped out at me, this card. But to me, this really does just sum this reading up perfectly. And that is, for some of you guys, in the month of December, moving into January 2015, you are going to feel this sense of, I want to feel liberated. I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel that there aren't any limitations on me. I want to feel free. And I certainly feel that the angels are just really backing up this reading and saying it's time to free yourself, and whatever capacity that takes, it takes. Whether you move out of your relationship, whether you know, take your relationship to a different plane, or whether you're single and you decide that you no longer want to be a victim, or you no longer want to feel down about where you are in being single. When we free ourselves, we only allow the universe to come in with better stuff for us. So guys, that's your reading for the month of December 2014. I'd like to say thanks very, very much to everyone who's subscribed. I really, really am grateful to you guys for that. You're really making my dreams come true. If you've just come to this channel and you're not a subscriber, please make sure that you like, subscribe and share the video. And also just to let you know, once again, that I'm setting up another channel called Carol's Universe Tarot Advice Readings, and that's whereby you can ask one question and I'll answer it free of charge with a one-card reading. It'll only be 1 or 2 sentences long, but this will be a taster for the new website that's being set up for my business. So I'll speak